So the Denver Nuggets might be really good. The noise around them this offseason has been pretty quiet. Like, you could drop a pin and hear it quiet. But they might end up with a very loud record by the end of the year. They were competing for the best record in the West last year, and it came down to the last handful of games before they fell out of contention for that honor. They finished with a 54-28 regular season record. That's still excellent. Their all-star center Nikola Jokic was putting up numbers that made a lot of people want to put him in real MVP talks. When they reached the playoffs, they beat the Spurs in 7 games, but after advancing to the second round, they lost to the Blazers in 7 games, via a CJ McCollum chicken with his head cut off game. In a good way. The 22-year-old point guard Jamal Murray showed out and proved that he could perform on the big stage. That meant Denver wanted to make sure they could hold on to him, so they signed him to a massive 5-year, $170 million extension. We'll see if he lives up to that, but nonetheless he looks poised to have a solid rise over the next few years. With that trip to the postseason being new to almost the entire roster, that experience would now allow them to potentially be more prepared for the playoffs next go-round. My point in telling you this is to show you that they would already be a great team if they just ran it back. But they have a few new players available that should make them even better. Michael Porter Jr., Jeremy Grant, and Bol Bol. MPJ and Double Bull should prove to be draft steals if their health can stay intact. They only fell as far as they did because of said health concerns. If those concerns prove to be misguided ones, they should have 2 huge impact players in Porter Jr. and Bol Bol. MPJ is an elite scoring forward who stands at 6'10", and Bol Bol is a 7'2" center who has guard skills with ball handling and his jump shot. That's so much skill, it's even hard to fathom what he could be if he develops into his full potential. He fell to the 44th pick. 44. So because of who he is as a basketball player, I have to assume that his foot problems are actually something serious, because before they arose, he was projected as a top 10 pick undoubtedly. But there are also major concerns with his weight and defensive awareness, despite being over 7 feet, so that's not comforting. Michael Porter was projected to go even higher than just being in the top 10. He was the number 1 prospect going into the 2018 draft at the beginning of the year and seemed surefire to be top 4. But like Bol Bol, an injury derailed his draft stock. Porter's injury was a back problem that required surgery, which is even more frightening than a foot injury. But his ceiling was deemed so high that he didn't slip past pick number 14. Jeremy Grant was also traded for. He is a young power forward who can shoot the 3-ball and defend at a high level. He only adds to their floor spacing and defensive versatility, the 2 most valuable skills to current NBA teams. These 3 players being added to Denver's depth chart make them the deepest team in basketball next season and will be better than last year. This also means that they are the most primed to trade for another star and still keep lots of depth. There's no other team in the league who could offer such a valuable package of assets and still keep good depth after making the trade. The trade market this year is, however, limited. The big names out there are Bradley Beal, Chris Paul, and Kevin Love. That's about it. And seeing as the Nuggets just paid their young budding point guard big money, I'm going to assume they aren't looking for an aging point guard to replace him with. I guess Kevin Love isn't a terrible fit, but I don't see them really inquiring about a deal. Although, as I think about it, I don't hate it. It kind of works. It's not terrible. But, I don't know. I'm going to say that they don't do something like that. They don't go after Kevin Love. So the last star still out there is Bradley Beal. This guy has been in trade rumors since last season when he was doing his best Kimba impression. starring on a terrible team. Beal makes a lot of sense. Having him with Jokic and Murray and one of the best ball movement and spacing systems in the league might make them pretty scary. Fit is really important here, and Beal fits the best. If Washington decides to mull trade offers for him, the Nuggets will undoubtedly have one of, if not the best offer out there. The Nuggets will still be good even if Porter Jr. and or Bol don't make big impacts, or if the Nuggets don't make a trade. But if either of those two things happen, their ceiling can rise dramatically. So that's my take on the Denver Nuggets. Thank you guys very much for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment down below if you agree or disagree. What do you think about the Nuggets? Do you think Bradley Beal is going to be traded? Again, thank you. I really appreciate it.